Well, if it isn't you. Oh, you can't see my face. Oh, there we go. If it isn't you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing? Well, okay. I like to think that I'm doing well, just because I'm well. Uh, well enough. Um, let's see. You know, I don't even want to talk about this, the Fed. So, let us get straight to our topic of discussion today, which is our quasi-philosophical discussions. I forgot to say, sponsored by the Year One Class Two, Class 1, 2 Corporation. It's okay, fantastic. Oh wait, no, and Year One Alumni Year One Class 2, Year One Alumni Corporation. There we go. It's actually kind of interesting to me. We've been doing this long enough that there is a Year One Alumni Corporation, and they have apparently disproportional power in Anyway, so the two topics that our sponsors chose for today are the discussion on the pursuit of happiness and a discussion of our human fear of the unknown. And I try to keep these to about half an hour, and we'll see how that goes. Because obviously these are very, very broad topics, and they will require sort of quite in-depth discussions. And so we'll see, because obviously people have been thinking about this basically forever, right? So Oh yeah, I completely took you out of what the fantasy, right? No. So let's start. I guess see, this is one of those really difficult things, right? Because what is happiness? It's not just having, male genitalia, right? No. But rather, what is the essence of what makes, like, okay, so first of all, biochemically, happiness is relatively easy to define, certain do I want to say that? Because then no, okay, no, we're not gonna say that. And I realize this is all recorded for posterity, but whatever. So the reason I want to stay away from talking about the biochemistry is that we are currently missing that, or not exactly. We're currently in the process of understanding the link between what we see biochemically and what we see on a systems level, right? So we are currently okay, I'm just gonna stick with we are currently studying the relationship between biochemistry and emotions we see on a systems level. And this is difficult, right? This is hugely difficult because obviously somewhere in there would be where we would find the quote unquote human consciousness. And until we do, and like there we have a very good idea of the biochemistry of the brain underlying everything. We have a fairly working knowledge of what it looks like on a systems level, but we don't know how. I don't want to say we don't know. We know what to poke to kill the system. Like if we wanted to, we know what to poke to be able to destroy the system's level effects, but we don't truly have a accurate picture of how the underlying physical structure and the underlying biochemistry then translates into me being able to stammer through my words as I'm talking to you right now, right? And so obviously, like, this is a never-ending discovery process, and so many brilliant people and brilliant scientists and dedicated and truly like tireless, well, okay, I'm not gonna say tireless, but endlessly complaining but still pursuing scientists are working on this problem, and I think that's great, right? It's just not me that's doing it, which is, you know, I think that's fair as well, just because I would probably be very bad at this. Anyway, so what is happiness, right? From my personally, I'm gonna move my desk a little. 1 second. Personally, there we go. Kinsho defines happiness as satisfaction, and from completion of things that he wants to do, right? So personally for me, this is how I would define happiness. It is that I am satisfied with the work that I have done, and this is the work that I wanted to do, and it is the work that I have done, and that as a whole makes me very satisfied with what I have done, and it means I can go to sleep peacefully. Does that yes, exactly. It's sort of, it's this idea of contentment, right? Are you content with your life? Are you content with what you want? Are you content with what you have? And herein lies the problem, right? And herein lies the problem. And so obviously I think this is what happiness is, not just for me, but also for everyone else. And herein lies the problem. Many modern people do not have the tools to be content with their work, right? And this is an education problem, obviously. So not you guys will know this because I just posted it, but I just posted a written piece on Chinese education and its emphasis on STEM, and how that is actually holding back the country, because there is there needs to be a more culturally diverse definition of success. But in the West, this is the opposite. In the West, we do not have the ability to give our children the tools necessary for them to complete work to their own satisfaction, right? If children are unable to work in a satisfying manner, they will be unsatisfied. I think that's self-explanatory. If people are unable to work in a satisfying manner, they will be unsatisfied, and that dissatisfaction breeds all sorts of things, right? And so to me, the pursuit of happiness is actually one of education. It is a lifelong pursuit of education, of understanding, of agency, right? So pursuit of happiness equals pursuit of education, understanding, and agency. I.e., the more educated we are, the more we are able to apply our education in a way that we can then use it. That's not to say that educated people are not depressed, because obviously tons and tons and tons of them are. There is sort of an addendum to this that we will get to, right? But fundamentally, an education gives us the chance to do things that we are satisfied with. Without any education, that is much more difficult, right? Especially, and this is not to denigrate the trades in any way, shape, or form. I think, I'll be honest, I think I would be really happy being a tradesman if I were me. If I had grown up as me as I am now and chosen a different life with all of my current knowledge intact, I would have been happy as a tradesman. But obviously I cannot be now because of responsibilities, right? And herein we get into this question of responsibilities keep us from exercising our agency that we derived via education. And so when I talk about education in the West, so there are two things when I talk about education. Education in the West, it would be accurate and how do I say this? In the West, it would be technical skills, because we in the West have the agency to pursue our own happiness already, and we already are emphasizing mental health to some extent. In the East, it would be the understanding and creativity of applications, right? So it's basically exactly the opposite. Anyway, not important. Anyway, so when I talk about the pursuit of happiness, really what I mean is, can we find projects in our life, that's not how you spell life, that we can use, or that we can work on, which give us a sense of satisfaction, right? And note that this does not have to be work, right? It would be good if you find satisfaction in doing your work, because then you're satisfied all the time. But if you know, you especially if it is responsibility related. After all, not everyone can be like Kinsho. and obviously you guys know what I mean by that, because obviously I take great joy in my responsibilities, but that's because I'm weird. Who is super weird? There you go. What time is it? This is at 14 minutes. Okay. This is at 14 minutes. 14. Let's just do that. Okay. Anyway, So, after work, during work, around work, yeah, like absolutely, you right. Like so for example, something that I take, something outside of work that I really find satisfying is, and this is, you know, mildly upsetting to admit, but Kinsho appreciates good cooking. Or no, let me say, finds being able to finds his cooking to be satisfying, right? Like if when I only very rarely have the time for this, but if I'm able to, you know, spend an hour and a half cooking, you know, like, you know, cutting vegetables, blah 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 blah, like and really getting the food right, I find that to be very satisfying. And that is sort of a, and this is a concrete action that has a beginning and an end with clear markers. And what you'll find as you look for these items in your life, that almost all of the things that we find satisfying have concrete actions, right? So things like working out, pushing ourselves beyond our limits, and being then able to say, yes, I did that afterwards. I personally find that also. Okay. Kinsho finds working out to be mildly satisfying, because obviously, like, during the process, it is rather difficult. And so this is something for myself. I always set a goal and then add 5% as I reach that goal. I.e., oh no, not I.e., G. Run 5K. After 5K, add 250 meters, right? To the end of the run. So when I have finished the, oh my god, where is my mouse cursor? When I have finished the 5-kilometer run, I add 5% to that, and not only do I feel the satisfaction of finishing the 5-kilometer run, I also feel the satisfaction of adding that last 5% of saying, I'm going to push myself a little bit further, and, you know, I'm going to make it, and then I make it, and then that is an additional piece of satisfying agency. Does that kind of make sense? And so I'm only giving my own examples, because obviously it's difficult for me to speak for others. But essentially, this is what makes me happy. This is the idea of agency, of having done something well and going above and beyond and doing something well, right? And you know, like 5% is nothing, right? Like especially if you've already ran 500 kilometers. 500 kilometers. No. Oh. If you've already run 5 kilometers, another 250 meters is really not a lot, right? Like it is just 5%. Something else I also do is, like, say I do jump rope, and I do like 500 hops. I'll add another 50 to it. And that's just naturally how I approach sort of these non-work related things. Obviously, when I do work, I don't over deliver to customers by for no reason, right? Because that's not what the contract states, right? But there are other ways that we can do this. And so obviously how I approach work, Kinsho finds a little bit of extra responsibility. No, I don't want to say that. Never mind. I'm not. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, no, 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 no. It's fine. Forget it. Not important. Anyway, so anyway, in conclusion, why is this over here? Oh yes. Happiness is the satisfaction of having done something I want to say we are happy with, but obviously that then doesn't make sense. But it's the satisfaction of having done something that we found fun, interesting, challenging, etc., right? Happiness is defined as having done something, having completed an action. It doesn't have to be a big action, right? Like I talk here about running 5K, but really, like 500 rope, whatever, right? This is like a 4-minute thing for me, right? This is and so is a 4-minute action, and that is still satisfying to me, right? Like to me, I find that to be super satisfying. I'm not going to do it all the time, obviously. I do this like when I was healthier, I would do this once or twice a day, maybe 3 times a day, and that is, it's a good way of I use it to delineate between projects, right? So say I just finished working on something, and before I start on something else, I'll go do that, do 500 rope jumps, and that's actually really helpful. Anyway, what if you can't find anything to work on? That is a see, I've never had that challenge. I have a to-do list that is, some of you have seen it, gigabytes. It's almost a gigabyte, right? Like obviously it's encoded UTF-16, but still, like, I have extensive plans for everything I want to do, and that's sort of separate. Anyway, what if we can't find anything to do? And my first reaction would be, I don't think that's ever the case unless you really don't want to exercise, right? I don't think that could ever be the case unless you are absolutely come on, you find it absolutely impossible to exercise. And if I in my hospital bed can do so, I think, it's not impossible. It is just difficult. And so if you absolutely can't find anything that you do, then I would argue a 5-minute run or 15-minute walk is in itself a challenge and something you can be satisfied with, right? In this case, in this case, you would feel the satisfaction not only of having done that physical action, but having pushed yourself to get up and do something new, right? The satisfaction is double. One, the satisfaction from having done something good for your body via exercise. 2, the satisfaction from having pushed past your own laziness. No, come on. Oh, come on. From having um, taken a new step and completed it, right? I would argue that this is hugely satisfying. And if you can't think of anything to do, go for a 5-minute run. You know, like if you want, if you hate getting sweaty, then just walk. If you don't mind coming back and having a shower, then run in your like street clothes, run in your bloody sweatpants. That's what they're there for, right? Like, I hate sweatpants, and yet I'm still okay if you take your sweatpants and actually apply them to what they're supposed to be used for. They're called sweatpants. You're supposed to sweat in them. Oh my god. Oh. There was there's a tribute to Karl Lagerfeld going on, and I'm just constantly reminded of it. Run in your damn sweatpants. That is what they are used for. I miss Carl. So in the past way, I talked about Karl Lagerfeld and this idea that if you sit around in sweatpants, you've lost control of your life. That's his words, not mine. You know, take it up with the ghost of Karl Lagerfeld. We're not going to have time for Fear of the Unknown today, just so you guys understand. We'll talk about it next week. But yeah, like I would consider this something that you can always do. And I appreciate that it can feel like it's nothing, but it's not, right? I appreciate that this can feel like it is nothing, but it's not. It makes the next time easier. And every time you do this, it makes the next time easier. And what you'll find is when you do this, and you do this over and over and over, and you say, oh, I have nothing to do. What am I going to do? Go out for a walk. Go out for a run. I know it's a huge faff. Obviously, it's a huge faff. To put on shoes, you know, oh my god, I have to wear shoes. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Do it. Oh, I have to put on... oh no. Not... I don't want others to see me in slob state. Put on a mask. You know? Yeah, I appreciate that, you know, we live in a society where sometimes you can't go everywhere in masks, but I do. You guys know me, right? You come to meet me, I'm always in the mask. And you know what? If you don't like it, well, some of you have tried saying that you don't like it, and you will remember what I responded. What is that? Oh, it's that thing. Okay. No, we're good. Put on a mask if you don't want others to recognize you, right? Like the idea is to find small actions that can reinforce themselves, right? And this builds habits, and with those good habits, you can then have good successes. I think that's perfectly reasonable. To me, that's perfectly reasonable. I don't know about the rest of you, but like, good habits means good life. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Like, what do you want me to say, right? Like, it is what you're supposed to do, so do it. Any question? Yes. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna delete Fear of the Unknown for now. What if I am afraid of the unknown, of going out for a walk? Hop around at home. There we go. There you go. Just hop around at home. No. I mean, again, right? Like, this is my suggestion, which would be to do some physical exercise, but it doesn't have to be physical exercise, right? Like, it doesn't have to be physical exercise. I just think that everyone can benefit. We can see huge immediate benefits from going from sedentary to exercising, right? Like huge even. Anyway, no, that's no, genuinely, but it doesn't have to be physical exercise. Coloring. Go back to your kindergarten days, right? Relive a time of innocence. Well, there are plenty of coloring pages, at quote unquote adult coloring books that exist. It used to be a fad a few years ago, right? I mean, if you guys want, I can draw you some line art that you can color in. It'll be hugely pretentious, but why not, right? Like, it's just this idea of doing something slightly new, but not too new, right? Don't go fermenting revolutions. That is bad. And takes too much energy, right? So just small things, and small things add up over time. They do, trust me, they really do. Anyway, okay, we are way past, not way past. We're at 31 minutes, so we're good for today. Yeah, I mean, going forward. Oh, I completely forgot about the. Yeah, no. I appreciate it. It's fine. We'll handle that afterwards. I think this was a decent discussion. I don't know. What do you think? No, this was a good discussion. And the point is really, like, a pursuit of happiness involves pursuing actions. Happiness, nobody else owes you happiness, right? Like, let me just say, nobody else owes you your happiness. It has to come from your own actions. So why not do the little things that make you happy, right? Like the act of purchasing, isn't happiness. Well, no, it is. Hold on. Is technically happiness because you have done something, right? But it isn't or it is hard for it to be a habit, right? Because then you would just continuously purchase stuff, and obviously we already live in a super consumerized culture, i.e. consumerism, right? So yeah, like retail therapy is a way of expressing an action, right? Retail therapy, as it is known, is an expression of an action with a clearly defined end, which is the act of purchasing. And it's that act of purchasing, that clearly defined end, that gives it that sense of completion, right? So again, if we go back all the way up, where is it? Agency, right? Can we find which give us a sense of satisfaction? Again, right? Like look at Kinsho cooking. It would be a concrete action that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Working out, beginning, middle, and end. Happiness is interesting, challenging, whatever. You know, like shopping can be interesting, fantastic, and yeah. So that. No, I'm done. Thank you very much for watching. In conclusion, please download Firefox. Please download Firefox. Please don't do Chrome. And I shall see all of you, tomorrow. I think. Well, I can't remember what we're playing tomorrow. It doesn't even matter.